Global Vice President with Viamedici, and I'm very pleased to have Manuela Konradt, who's a senior data expert with Miltenyi, with us today. She's going to share how Miltenyi is using the PIM solution for their global operations and some of the benefits that they have as a result of utilizing PIM. Before I do that, I'd like to just give a very brief overview of Viamedici because I know a number of you aren't familiar with us, and so it'd be good to kind of be able to express and give you what Viamedici does in terms of the solution set. Viamedici is a leader in the PIM space. We do much of our PIM solutions throughout Europe. We are a company that has one platform that does master data management, product information management, digital asset management, and as well as dynamic configuration. We're the only provider that has all of these things in one solution set, which is very comprehensive for our customers. It allows you to actually start out with one domain or one application and expand to other use cases within your organization. So you can start out small and grow large. And if you look, we've been very fortunate to have been noted by a number of the leading analysts as a leader both in MDM and PIM. Gartner has recognized us as such, as has Forrester. Some of the recent IDC reports that have come out have shown us as a leader within PIM for retail, as well as PIM within the B2B space, as well as Infotech has as a leader. So we're very pleased with that. But what we're more pleased with is our customer feedback. So if you look at peer reviews for Gartner or Infotech, we consistently are rated by our customers as having one of the strongest technology solutions in the market and having very high customer satisfaction. And having Manuela here is a testament to that. Customers who are willing to speak on our behalf is always something that we pride ourselves on. So, from a B2B perspective, we view ourselves as the number one solution in the PIM space. We have over 400 customers, over 50,000 users of our solution set, and over 200 employees currently. And our growth rate is over 100% from a cloud perspective. So we're seeing very strong growth, especially in the international marketplaces. As I mentioned, we started out in Europe. We are doing very well in Europe in the DACH region and have been expanding to Western Europe as well as North America and Asia. We have customers in all those locations as well as representation in all those locations. Next slide, please. If you look at our customer set, our customers kind of cover the gamut. We have customers in pharmaceutical and biotech, in healthcare distribution. We have customers that are working in building supply. We also have customers that are doing high tech and automation. And so really we cover the gamut, and automotive. So if you look at the use cases for PIM and MDM, they're really needed across the spectrum. And I think what you see really is that there is more and more of a demand in the B2B space where companies are sharing product information from business to business, whether it be content around the product and its specific application, or whether it be images or things that are needed to be able to bring them within their companies. And so we are seeing a significant growth in B2B. Traditionally, PIM was kind of looked at B2C, and we're seeing more and more B2B applications in the marketplace. A typical profile for us is a company, and if you look at these companies, where they have multilingual requirements, so usually 30 to 40 languages, lots of regions globally. They're actually managing their content on a global basis, and they're actually usually integrating with an ERP system. So we have customers that are working with SAP and pulling data in the bill of material and from an ERP application, bringing the PIM system, and then deploying it. Next slide, please. So I'm not going to get into a lot of detail on our architecture because that could take some time, but I will highlight a few things. So one of the things you'll see is that we have a platform that has a number of applications and components in it. And there are some uniquenesses that we provide that a number of other folks don't provide that actually provides a lot of benefit to our customers. One of those things is in the area of AI. We do auto classification and auto translation. We have a co-pilot capability that allows for online help. We also have an ability to allow you to ask the application to set up product attributes as an example, or do things that are automated from an AI perspective. We also have an advanced workflow capability that allows organizations to go through an approval process as they're working with data, whether it be product data, whether it be customer or supplier or other domains. They can actually have an advanced workflow, and then data quality, which is what this is all about, having consistent data across the organization. So those are all part of the central part here, which is part of the EPIM solution set. Another thing that we do that's a little bit of a differentiator, or is a significant differentiator, is we have a data store. So once you go through an approval and you actually approve product information, then it is put into a real-time data store, which can actually provide data to any place that needs it through an Elasticsearch capability. And so that is really a kind of game-changing. You have a 360 view of everything that's interacting with a product, whether it be images or other or suppliers or locations associated with the product, data packs that are specific to that product, and distribution from that product. And then on the left-hand side, we actually have kind of listed out some of the applications that we have that work in concert with the EPIM solution. So we have a number of portal capabilities. We have a supplier onboarding capability where you can onboard products from various suppliers, and they can do a self-service onboarding of their solution. We have a media or product portal that allows you to actually look at product information, and if you're working with an agency or a third party, you can have a workflow that's associated with those products before you kind of work with them. And we also have a sales portal, which allows your distributors or retailers or anybody that's on the sell side of your value chain to actually look at product information that is specific to them. So they don't look at all your products, they just look at the products through a lens that are specific to their specific, whether it be a hospital, whether it be a retailer, whether it be a distributor, that have been negotiated and are available for them for distribution. So that's one of the things we do on the sales portal. And then another thing we have from an application perspective, which is getting a lot of energy and a lot of customers moving forward with it, is our sustainability engine. So we have partnered with Sustain 360, and they work in concert with our solution. And we do digital product passports, we do ESG reporting, and we do electronic product declaration. So very comprehensive. You have the bill of material, all the product data, and then you can actually interrogate the data, determine if there's forever chemicals within the solution or within the products that they're selling, or if there's a carbon footprint or these types of things. So that's a very brief overview of our capabilities. Obviously, you can check out our website or talk to me or talk to any of our team members to get more detail. But now I'd like to get to the meat of the discussion. And so I want to introduce Manuela and have her discuss Miltenyi and how she's using EPIM. So Manuela, take it away.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for this very nice introduction and the overview. And also thank you for the invitation to this webinar. So as I said before, we start talking about the Viamedici PIM, which we are using in our company for a long time now. I shortly want to introduce Miltenyi here. So next slide, please. So Miltenyi was founded 35 years ago in Germany, near to Cologne, in a very nice green area. So the name of the company, I think some people will question this, depends on its founder, Stefan Miltenyi, who is still leading the company with his great visions. So we have more than 4,700 employees now, and we are still growing, and they are located all over the world. And Miltenyi is developing and producing mostly of all the products which they sell out of the market on our own. So it is no surprise that about a quarter of our employees are researchers and developers to stem this big package. So we have at the moment around 19,000 products on the market, and you can find more than 52,000 scientific reference where our products are mentioned. It's a really great number, I think. So we also have products in the clinical area, and we know that 10,000 patients per year are treated with cell products which are using our technology, and more than 150,000 cell therapy procedures exist where also Miltenyi Biotec products are involved. So Miltenyi has about 30 locations all over the world, and we are selling our products in 68 countries. In some countries, for sure, we are working with distributors. For the next slide, please. So here you can see an overview of our global presence. The headquarters is still in Germany, where we are also producing the main part of our products. And in addition, we also have innovation and technology centers in the US and in the APAC region. And we have 3 clinical Clinimax cell factory labs out, one in Bergisch Gladbach, which is here in Cologne in Germany, one in Shanghai, and the other one in San Jose. So the next slide, please. So we are offering a very broad and diverse product portfolio, starting from research and up to clinical applications. And we are starting in the research area from sample preparation over cell separation, cell analysis, and up to molecular analysis. And our portfolio is still growing in numbers and also in diversity. So let's come to some key messages about our PIM system, or the Viamedici PIM system, which we are using in our company. Thanks a lot. For the next slide. So we introduced the Viamedici PIM in 2010, and there was a focus still on print publications. It means we want to produce catalogs and price lists out of our PIM system. As most of you know, print seems to be more and more outdated, so that the focus of using the Viamedici PIM system shifted more and more to the digital applications. So in 2020, we had a global change in our IT architecture and introduced several new platforms like a DAM system, and we introduced, for example, also the SAP Commerce Cloud as our new shop system. And depending on this major IT change in the whole architecture, we, from the PIM team perspective, we introduced the Viamedici data store functionality, which gives us the advantage of the fast and safe publishing of our data in high quality for different customers. So I think I already mentioned some of these topics, and he also mentioned different other apps, like workflow apps, translation apps, but this is us not these apps we are not using not using at the moment. So if you can show my next slide, I think we can go into the discussion, the interview, if you want. So, and later on we can see if we got all this point I put together, how the situation was before we do the PIM introduction and after the PIM introduction.
No, that sounds good. So I think this is a good time to do kind of a Q&A. And actually, instead of going to the next slide, I'm going to leave this up because this has a lot of detail in it. But I think one of the things that I'd like to get a sense of is, what is the greatest benefit that you think the PIM solution has provided to Miltenyi and to your team on a global basis?
Mm-hmm. So I think one of the very important thing is that we can deliver higher quality of our product data, which depends on the reusability of content and the possibility to inherit content and the generation of different quality gates, which brings the quality of the data we are publishing to different consumers makes it much more better. So another benefit I see in the Viamedici PIM system is the high flexibility of creating data models, changing things or adapting new things. Another topic is that with the data store, we have the possibility for much faster publication processes, and also we have more control about what we are publishing because we have the versioning idea, which was provided with the data store. What I also like, or what I see as a big benefit, is that you can automate a lot of things. For example, that you can do mass uploads via imports. And another topic I really like is that you have the possibility to display content in a country-specific way. These are some of the benefits. I'm sure there are much more, and I'm sure we are not using the whole flexibility and the whole portfolio the Viamedici PIM is offering at the moment.
No, that's really good. So one of the things that you and I talked about a little bit that I think was great is, and maybe we can talk about it a little bit more, is we talked about different data models, which I think you have, obviously. But then you said there were different data packages that you could do to different regions that you did via the data store. Can you elaborate on that a little bit more?
Yes, for sure. As I already mentioned, so we also have some clinical products, and these clinical products, as most of you know, have different regulatory status, which needs different display. For example, there are products which are only displayed or only sold in the US, and they should only display with the content the customer needs in the US and not in other countries. And this is a functionality which we can easily adapt with the PIM system. And what we also know we can do, but we don't do it at the moment, that we can translate content, for example, for product pages or for different customers or whatever. But that's something we are not doing at the moment. But I'm absolutely sure for the future there will upcome projects where we will need this functionality.
Oh, that's interesting. And you had mentioned, I think, so regionally there's different instruction set, obviously in the language of the region that you're working with. So when you put together that instruction set, how do you marry that with the product and then make sure that it's available for distribution? Is that what's that process look like with the PIM solution?
You're talking about whatever package inserts or instrument user manuals or something like this, is correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So at the moment, we are translating these documents, sometimes in single assets, sometimes in one document. It depends on the document we have, how long it is, how many pages it has. And then we are uploading it to the variant or to the product where this special document is needed.
That's good. And I think your team size, you have a small team that manages all of this. Is that correct? And is able to get new information out. If you'd elaborate on that a little bit, that'd be helpful.
Yeah. So our PIM team is really small at the moment, but I think we are really efficient because we have all these tools that we can use in the PIM system, as I already said, like mass upload or mass data maintenance, which is really helpful. And we as a company, not as a company, as a PIM team, we decided at one point how we want to structure our user roles, that not too many people are working in the PIM systems. For example, we decided that not everybody should maintain, or not every product manager should maintain his own data, because in some cases it's much easier for the PIM team to support the product manager maintaining data, making the data in the best way for the customer or for other consumers. And but we still have some colleagues who are still working in the PIM system and maintaining data and so on.
No, that's interesting. Very interesting. And you mentioned that you're using SAP e-commerce. So does the PIM system integrate with that as well?
Yes. So the SAP e-commerce is pulling the data from the data store index and import them every night.
Oh, good. That's very interesting.
So we have set different functionalities that they can directly, that they can only import or pull the data which had a change date and changed during the last period of importing, which is running very well.
Well, I didn't ask you this, and this is kind of off the cuff, but I'm interested. So when you work with product data, do you set up like an effective date so you do all the work beforehand and then say, okay, it's ready for launch and then it goes, or is it a continual process, or how does that work? Because that's I think of interest as well.
Yeah, I think this differs. So if we are releasing new products only once a month to the market, only at the first of the month, and this is a fixed timeline. And before we are maintaining all the product data which are needed, uploading uploading assets, creating references, whatever is needed, that the product is in the right structure. And this is then the fixed date where the products will be published. So if we change product data, for example, there is the extension of product data with more information. This could be a more flexible process because it always depends on who is providing the data which is needed, how many times does it, does, for example, our graphic department needs to generate new images and so on. And with the data store functionalities. We have here the possibility to say, okay, no, we put the product back on a status where it is in progress, and we have the time we need to maintain the product until it's finished. And then we say, okay, everything is finished, everything is reviewed, everybody is fine with the data we arranged. And then we say, okay, please publish now in the status, release the product again to the web page, and all the changes will be going online.
Oh, that's excellent. Very interesting. So I think this has been great. I'm so pleased that we've been able to meet with you and go over these things because it's always exciting to hear what a customer is doing with the product and where you intend to go. Do you have any visions on what's next? You mentioned workflow. Are there any things that you are looking forward
to? Yeah, I would like to spend more time on generating workflows, thinking about more quality gates, and also thinking about integrating our business process management a little bit more with what we are doing here in the PIM system, because I think there are a lot of APIs where we can connect, and I also want to have more automated APIs to other consumers, where we at the moment still in the little bit more manual process, but this is a little bit the vision for the future. Yeah.
Well, that's very helpful. I forgot to mention that in my overview. So we obviously use RESTful APIs, so that's one of the solution set. But I'm glad you reminded me, so I can tell the audience that that's something that obviously we have as part of our solution, which is increasingly an important part because it's all about connectivity. So I think that's really very helpful. Well, Sandy, I don't know if you have any additional questions that have come up. If not, I'd like to thank everybody for participating, and I'd definitely like to thank you, Manuela. It's been a pleasure meeting with you, and we appreciate your time and effort. And obviously, we appreciate you as a customer. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a great day and a nice holiday weekend.
Yeah, you too.